just give you a thumbs up when this is good to go. And we are good to go. Okay, well, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining our live stream here as we kick off our 1 million wallets campaign with this kickoff webinar. My name is Harish. I look after developer relations at Covalent, and I'm super excited to be joined here with Michael Chen from the Fantom Foundation. So this edition of 1 Million Wallets is being run in partnership with Fantom. And we've got Michael Chen, who's the CMO, and I know has been part of the Fantom team for quite some time. So I'll pass it over to Michael to give us an introduction. The goal of the kickoff webinar here is to talk a little bit about this campaign, talk a little bit about the purpose, and then we'll also walk through some developer resources. So we'll take a look at some of our documentation, both on Fantom's end and Covalent's end, take a look at some of the tools that are available to you, and we'll see if we got time towards the end for some Q&A. I'll be taking a look at some of the chat on YouTube, and we'll try to answer a few questions. But let me pass it off to Michael. Michael, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
First of all, thank you so much for having me, Harish. I mean, it's been a while since I've shown my face in public, to be honest. So it's a real pleasure to do it here with you as we kick off this hackathon together, right? So my name is Michael Chen, Chief Marketing Officer at Fantom, been around here for like 3 years. And well, just like Harish, I kind of interface with developers and teams who build not just on Covalent, but mostly on Fantom. And really excited to tell you guys today about why I think you should be building on Fantom, why you should try it out, whether you use it as an economic testnet to build on Ethereum, or you want to utilize high speed, low fees, and a high performance environment to build some completely new kinds of applications. But for today, let's focus on the wallets. Yeah, so Harish, so how about we just kick it right off with the developer documentation and leading everybody through what they might need when creating a wallet using Covalent on top of Fantom.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can actually start off at the 1millionwallets.com/Fantom, which is this is the 1 Million Wallets page, and then if you click on the banner for our current event, which is the event with Fantom. And so this is basically your go-to page. And what's exciting about 1 Million Wallets is it's designed to be inclusive for everyone. So generally with hackathons, it's geared towards developers. What we've done with 1 Million Wallets is provided both sort of hackathon challenges as well as what we call our community challenges. And that enables those who aren't developers to also be able to get involved. We've got things like wallet quests. We've got some templated challenges where you can just simply click a few buttons and you can sort of see the response from our API. And then we've also got like an art challenge and daily quizzes. So there are other ways for the general public to be involved. With respect to the hackathon itself, so the idea here is to empower people to build out wallet interfaces. And we've also, we've run this a few times with a few different partners. And what we've seen is you've got participants who continue building and iterating on their project. And ideally, we'd like to see, MVPs, prototypes coming out of these hackathons that can be further built out to support additional networks. Our focus really is on multi-chain, but also be able to maybe take it to another level where they can receive some additional sponsorship or funding to be able to turn it out into a full-fledged product. And we have seen potential for some projects to actually become full-fledged standalone projects. So that's really exciting. We really want to nurture and foster that.
Yeah. And as we kick it off, I think we also want to mention, right, how excited it is to see how many submissions we've got for this 1 million wallets hackathon, right? Because I think you've got the statistic, Harish, but I think we've got an unprecedented amount of people signing up to do NFT art, to build a wallet interface as well in this hackathon. I think more than 400 submissions, if I'm correct.
We've actually got about 2,000 people who've registered already, and today is sort of the opening day. So that's kind of blew our expectations, really. And I think we've got something like 400 people signed up for the hackathon itself. So it's really exciting. We really want to sort of see what the participants are gonna build. Every time we run this event, there's some really cool projects, but also just the engagement level with the broader community, highlighting that they've learned a lot. Things that they didn't really expect from what maybe perceived as a very technical event. Cool. So back on the 1 Million Wallets page here. So we've got a couple of resources that we've highlighted. If you just scroll up a little bit there, Michael. We've got our API docs, which we're going to go into in just a second. But we've also got links to our code templates. So we provide little snippets of code with a basic front end, and you can sort of see what a wallet interface might look like. And we'll run the demo just below in just a second. And then we've also got a suite of tutorials, how-to guides. So being able to actually do some analysis with the Covalent API through some guided resources. And we've got all of that published on what we call our knowledge base. Cool. If you go back to the 1 Million Wallets, I really like this the code demo because it's quite powerful and it's really easy to get started. So we're using a tool from Replit. So if you aren't familiar with Replit, definitely check them out. They're actually a sponsor for this event as well, and they're providing a month's free premium membership to their cloud coding interface. And here we've got this embedded into our web page where you can select between the Fantom mainnet or testnet. There's a sample wallet address provided to you there, and then if you just simply hit the get wallet data button, you get all the balances associated with this particular wallet, as well as all the transfers that have taken place. So this is a very basic front-end wallet interface, just to show you what you can pull very quickly with basically, one or two API endpoints, Covalent API endpoints that we're using here. And then you can actually click on the little code button down at the bottom there, and it will bring up the underlying code. And the far right there, you can actually explore the different files that we've got. So you can actually, fork this and then use it as a starting point if you wanted a basic code template to work off of. It's all there for you here in the off the website.
Yeah, so that's really, really fancy stuff. I must say, you guys and your documentation is probably even better than ours. I feel a little bit ashamed in saying that here live. Is there anything else we should show them on this page? Would we like to dig through the API docs, code templates, and tutorials, or would you first like me to go through the Fantom developer documentation as well, as people will obviously be using both Fantom and Covalent to build these applications?
Yeah, so we'll talk about the API docs and the knowledge base in a little bit more detail after Michael, you've had a chance to go through your Fantom documentation. The only other thing I wanted to showcase here was just our events calendar. So just below the, there we go. So this is basically your go-to schedule for the next couple weeks, where we've got speaker sessions with our CEO Ganesh, as well as a couple of key speakers from your end on the Fantom Foundation. And then every week we also host what we call our office hours. And this is a great way if you've got questions, if you want to toss around ideas with us and get our feedback. We've got a couple stellar support staff on our end who are happy to have that dialogue and work with you, sort of flush out your ideas as you go through the campaign.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. So I'm going to go through the developer documentation we have, right? And the big benefit here is that Fantom like many other chains nowadays, is an EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine Compatible Layer 1 chain. So that means that a lot of the things you have in Ethereum are reusable for Fantom. Think about MetaMask as a wallet, right? You want to connect, you just add a custom network and you're ready to go. And think about the programming languages you use to program as well. Solidity, Viper, all are fully supported. Now, if you look at docs.fantom.foundation, which is kind of the landing page for anybody developing on Fantom, you'll find a short overview on what Fantom is, what the key features are, what the USB is. But if you scroll down a little bit here on the left, you'll find a couple of things, such as Covalent indexing and querying API, which is a very important thing here, as you may know, but also a couple other tools, such as setting up MetaMask, as I mentioned before, how to deploy basic smart contracts, and how to create tokens and so forth. Although that may not be directly associated with this 1 million wallets hackathon, and may not be directly related to building out a wallet interface. For anybody out there who wants to build more and who wants to keep building and who wants to expand on what they built during this hackathon, I think this would be a very, very good resource, and that's why I wanted to show that to you guys. Yeah. So, Harish, how about we go back to the 1 million wallets page and dig through the other documentation?
Yeah, and if you like, I can actually just share my screen, which might be a little bit easier. Like I can drive this part here.
Go for it.
Okay, are you able to see that?
Definitely.
Perfect. Okay, so a couple of key resources. So as you mentioned there, Michael, I know on the Fantom documentation, we've got an outline of our API, which is fantastic, and that's also summarized to some degree here off our knowledge base, where we talk about our supported networks, and we've got details about the Fantom network. One sort of exciting addition to highlight here is we actually support both the mainnet and the Fantom Opera testnet. So that's also highlighted here. You just need to use the chain ID, and by using that, you're able to pull data off the testnet as well. And we're incorporating some of the challenges and some of the quests. We're using the testnet, so you don't actually have to fork out any hard cash to be able to take part. So I'm going to go to the API reference, and what's great about this, and there's going to be some improvements here taking place shortly, and some really exciting new changes here. But in terms of what we've got right now, the way we've categorized our API is we've got sort of two classes of endpoints. We've got our Class A and our Class B, and our Class A basically applies across all the chains that we support and allows you to pull, really granular historical data around balances, transaction, log events, things of that nature. And so if we take a look at just some of the endpoints that we have, all of these, again, supported for Fantom. You just have to use the chain ID of 250 for the mainnet and 4002 for the testnet. But you can get all the token balances associated with any wallet on Fantom. You can get the sort of historical trend of the portfolio value over time. You can get detailed log events. So all of these are really powerful endpoints. In fact, each one of these can almost be an engine for a wallet interface in itself, based on the richness of the data that you get back with each of these endpoints. And here I've just sort of experimented with, I think, so Spirit Swap is one of our sponsors. We're excited to have them join us and provide a bounty prize. And so by simply taking a look at something like their factory address, we're able to distill, all these log events like deposits and things of that nature. So all that data is there. I will talk about one improvement we're currently in the midst of finishing up. And that's going to be a really powerful endpoint that will work across all the different Uniswap clones that exist across multiple chains. So I'll talk about that in just a second. So we've got log events that you can pull out. We've got details around NFTs, and then we've also got information around token holders. So if you want to grab all the token holders for Fantom, you can do that here for a particular token that's on the Fantom network. And this is a really powerful one because you can actually trend this over time and sort of see the difference. We've even got a dedicated endpoint for that where you can see the changes in token holders between two different block heights. Okay, so that's the Class A. I mean, very, very high overview. I probably didn't do justice to it, but just wanted to highlight a few different endpoints. Now, if we talk about our Class B, I'm going to go to this one here, which is our Pancake Swap and network assets. And again, I understand Pancake Swap, this is on Binance Smart Chain. But what's really exciting about this particular endpoint, where we're going to fetch all the assets, and by assets, I mean all the different liquidity pools. So we can see the particular exchange address. We can see the two tokens that are part of the swap pair. We're actually building this endpoint for all the different clones of Uniswap across all networks. So what that means for Fantom is you'll be able to use an endpoint just like this, hopefully in the next day or two, where you can distill all the network assets for Spirit Swap, Spooky Swap, Esther Finance. We're basically any clone of Uniswap on any network will be supported with this endpoint, and that's a super powerful endpoint that will be available. And what that enables you to do, if just bear with me for 1 second, let me pull this up, is be able to build something that looks like this. So we built, this is DeFiStats.io, and we built this out for Pancake Swap, but you can build interfaces like this. This is all powered by the Covalent API and used quite extensively by team members over at Binance Smart Chain. But you can basically build this very quickly for any Uniswap clone with these endpoints that we're just about to provide through our API. And so very detailed information for each of the pairs, the tokens, the accounts. This is really cool stuff that you're able to do very quickly. So we're really excited about this endpoint that's going to be published soon, and unlocking some hopefully some creativity in building out some really fun dashboards by the community for the 1 Million Wallets Hackathon. Okay, Michael, any thoughts, questions, comments from your end?
Questions now, but that's also because you gave me quite the rundown before we even got onto the webinar here, although I shouldn't say that probably, right? But yeah, I just wanted to mention we're really, really excited to see not just the wallets, right? But as you showed just now, stuff such as analytics, right? Because obviously Spirit Swap, Spooky Swap, and a lot of these Uniswap inspired dexes on Fantom. I wouldn't use the word clones just because I see how much attention goes to building that out. It would be good to see analytics as well for those, right? So like a Fantom tools or Dex tools or something like that would be absolutely great to see it coming out of this hackathon. And, if I may hint, if anybody's building that, please send us a message and we'd love to help accelerate that. Absolutely. And that's exactly the opportunity that, an event like this provides, is being able to take those promising projects and really provide support to build it out to the next level. Let me just quickly talk about the hackathon itself. So we've got what we sort of classified as 3 tracks. We've got new builds. So these are projects that are started and submitted from scratch during the hackathon. And because of the
the effort that would be provided for a new build. These projects for the new builds are eligible for the larger prizes. We've got another track called technical improvements. And so what we've seen is folks taking part in previous 1 million wallets campaigns, building out their ideas and then improving them through each of our campaigns. And so, maybe it's adding, the Fantom network into your existing project, maybe making some UI changes. So that's sort of our second track where it's a technical improvement on an existing submission that you may have made for 1 million wallets in the past. And then we've got a dedicated Spirit, what we call our Spirit Swap. And this is just a bonus for folks who are working on ideas that have been put forward by Spirit Swap. And I'll talk about a couple of those in just a second here. So they're offering an additional up to 5,000 USD equivalent for submissions related to these two ideas that they've got, and they'll be here. I'll talk about that in just a second. So some of the ideas, and these are fairly generic. We'd love to see folks build stuff even outside of what we present. But if you're having trouble getting started, here are some ideas. So building out a multi-chain asset tracker, so tracking balances, transactions, all that kind of stuff. Maybe in some interesting platform like wearables, or building it into a spreadsheet tool, or offering it as a browser extension. I know tools like VFAT.tools is really popular, and it's got a very basic interface. So taking the details that you see here, and all this data again can be pulled from the Covalent API. But building out maybe a more interactive, a more UI pleasing UI dashboard, building off of this particular concept. Building out smart contract transaction analyzer, so going beyond what you might see in FTM's scan. So being able to see all the decoded log events, being able to see those details. Something again, the Covalent API provides that data to be able to do that. And then you can, build out any sort of custom or niche wallet around a particular collection or social token or tracking whales. And then, also encouraging folks to build out wallet interfaces for particular projects on Fantom. We talked about Spirit Swap, but Popsicle Finance, etc. Building out ROI cost basis tax calculators. I know nobody wants to talk about tax calculators, but if we're starting to see mainstream adoption, that might be something that people want to look at. And then there's obviously this massive focus now on DAOs and building out both the management tools for their finances, as well as having transparency dashboards, so you can see those on the members of the DAO, what they're holding, maybe any interesting transactions related to the project that they're on the board for. Having that kind of transparency is going to be key going forward. So again, things that you can very easily build using the Covalent API. With respect to the Spirit Swap bounty prize, so again, this is the additional bonus that they're offering. So putting together a portfolio page similar to what we just looked at with the VFAT tools, being able to see all your assets on Spirit Swap, as well as other projects on Fantom. And then this was a cool idea. So being able to incorporate really detailed graphing and financial tools like TradingView, and building that into your interface, so that in addition to seeing the swap information, you're also tying it in with some interesting graphing tools using an open source package like what TradingView has to offer. So that's a really quick rundown of ideas. I don't know, Michael, if there's anything else that comes to mind just from going through this that would be interesting from your end, but we're constantly going to be adding to this list. So if there are ideas that come up, we'd love to make sure that we showcase and put that here so that people can think about working on them.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely very important as well that we look at what people are already building in Ethereum as well, because a lot of these things people are already trying to build and speccing out, and where possible, right, take inspiration from people who have full-time teams with multiple with people working on these things, and try to re-implement them on Fantom as well. Because the entire point of this hackathon is also to get people who would normally not be interacting with code and interacting with this level of product development, and getting them, to appreciate the beauties of working with Covalent and Fantom here. So no shame in looking at a Coordinape or at a Nansen or whoever is building whatever on Ethereum and figuring out how we can re-implement that here.
Absolutely. Those are definitely some good projects to look at on Ethereum. And then just the last point about the hackathon. So, definitely join our Discord channel. And again, we've got office hours that we're going to run weekly, and just being able to have access to, developers to bounce ideas off of and get feedback off of. There's a massive community that we've got on Discord willing to help out. So that's a summary of the hackathon itself. And then let me just talk about a couple of our community challenges here, which might be of interest. So we've got a daily trivia, and this is run by one of what we call our alchemists. We're part of our broader ecosystem. And Emmanuel, who's our alchemist who runs this, will be basically throwing out trivia questions, just dropping these questions throughout the day. And these are meant to sort of, engage people around details around both Covalent and Fantom. Pretty easy, pretty casual, nothing really to subscribe to, but it is a nice way to engage with both our communities. And then we've got our NFT Art Challenge. So calling all the artists, creatives, and wanting to let your creative juices just go wild here, and coming up with the best NFT, sort of representing this event. And so what we've got is, in addition to just the prize pool, is that the best NFT will be awarded to all the hackathon winners. So that's going to be an additional bonus to showcase the artwork that is done by the community. And then we got these two sort of challenges. We'll first start with the wallet quest, and these are thought-provoking puzzles involving riddles, clues, encoded messages, that kind of stuff, to really introduce you to both the Covalent and the Fantom ecosystems and tools and resources. And so here's an example of one of the quests where we're exploring wrapped Fantom tokens, and you need to go through a few steps to unlock a URL that's a secret room, and there's a little fun puzzle there. So that's the kind of stuff that we're doing with our wallet quests, and we've got some good bounty prizes there. And then lastly, we've got our templated wallet challenges. So we'll provide these little short template exercises. Some of them require just a little bit of code, but nothing here that requires you to be a developer or anything like that. And we've got our first one here to actually go through and set up your F wallet, connect it with MetaMask, and do a basic transfer, and then use the Covalent API to pull that transfer data and see that if it matches what you expect. So that's an overview of the 1 Million Wallets campaign. We've talked about the hackathon. We talked about some of the community challenges. We talked about some of the resources, both on Fantom's end and our end. We're really excited, given the number of registrations, to see what gets built over the next couple weeks.
And in addition to that, Ryan, we also want to mention that we will also be offering support to any of the hackathon people. So we've got developer channels, Discord, Telegram, wherever it may be. Come in there, and any one of us will be happy to help you out if you're running into any problems or troubles. And in addition to that, right, if you have any ideas and want to ask us how we would implement it, we'd be happy to give advice there as well, right? At the end of the day, we hope this becomes as educative as possible. And whether products come out of it or not, we're happy to see people just getting in touch with something they haven't done before and learning something new.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. So for the viewers on YouTube, just taking a look at the chat, if there's any hackathon or 1 million wallets related questions, feel free to throw them out now, and we'll try to address them here in the time that we've got. We've got a fair bit of time, but if there aren't any questions, we can end this a little bit early and let you start building. Okay. Well, if questions do come through, can you participate in the normal hackathon and Spirit hackathon with the same submission? Yeah. So just to be sort of clear, what Spirit Swap is offering here is basically just an additional bonus if you work on the two ideas that they've highlighted here. So this would be eligible for if you do it as a new build, it'd be eligible for that, and then you'd also be eligible for a bonus that Spirit Swap is offering. So you basically can use this as a top up if you are building something specific for Spirit Swap here. Ideally, we like to see these projects where it's pretty flexible in terms of being able to look at maybe Spirit Swap and maybe look at a few other protocols. But if you wanted to do something just for them, that's totally fine as well. Okay, guys, thank you so much, all the viewers, and Michael, thank you so much for taking the time walking through some of the resources. This session will be online afterwards, so you can go back to it and use it as a reference if you need to. And again, as mentioned, 1millionwallets.com/Fantom. That's where you'll get all the information, all the details, and connect with us over Discord as you go through the hackathon. And if you've got any questions, any support, we'll be happy to provide that for you. So with that, happy building. Good luck. And looking forward to seeing what everyone builds.
Excited. Thank you so much, Harish.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Much appreciated, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Same.